everybody. Welcome back once again to Drunkard's Walk, the podcast. It's time for episode 100, part 2. That's right. Last week when you joined us, the wives made their way from Sanborn maps to Weird Al Yankovic. And now it's a chance to see if we can do the same. And by we, I don't just mean me, because I am singular. In order to be plural, I need somebody else. And that somebody else is my co-host, Matt Hartman.
Hi, Jethro. I'm glad to make you plural.
You complete me. Rather, you complete we, I guess I should say.
A beautiful plural arrangement.
Indeed.
Yeah.
How you doing? How's it been?
I'm good. It's been good. It's been good. I've been thinking all week about like what did they do and how did they get there? You know, we had my friend Rob Iera on last week, and for episode, this is technically episode 101. Even though it's a two-part, I guess, technically, I don't know. I don't know how you count them. I mean, we've been counting them as separate episodes in the past, so I guess we better count them as separate now, or else it wasn't episode 100.
Or is this the season where all the rules change?
Oh, I see what you've done, and I love it. You know what I realized last week is that we never mentioned what the whole, like, what we do. Like we never did our little encapsulation of the fact that we're going from one location to the other using the links on the pages thing. We never talked about that. So hopefully, if there are any brand new listeners, they figured it out. And if you didn't, and you're listening now to find out the conclusion of that episode, there you go. I've explained it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't feel like this podcast is rocket science.
No, I guess it's not.
It's really just an excuse for us to drink and argue.
That is also very true. Yes.
Speaking of drinking,
yeah, I'm glad you brought it up, man. Because I was going to ask you, like, do you have a drink with you tonight, or?
I do.
Yeah.
I'm having a delightful boxed Pinot Grigio from the. I can't even remember the company name because that's a few glasses ago. So
that's how good it is, huh?
There we go. And what about you? What do you have?
Oh, I have a fantastic sampling tonight. I went to the Fine Wine and Good Spirits store, and I bought this amazing bottle of bourbon that if you go to our Instagram, you'll be able to see a picture of it too. The bottle is shaped like a baseball.
Wow.
And the bottom of the bottle, look, it's a diamond. It's a baseball diamond.
Wow.
This thing.
Nothing says quality bourbon like
I know.
a really gimmicky shaped bottle.
I know. Clearly, I'm a sucker. And as I was buying it, the person who was checking out was just like, oh, well, at least it's a neat bottle, huh? And I was like, yeah, I'm a sucker. I had to try it. And I said, I'll have the bottle forever. Once the bourbon's gone, I can keep the bottle. But you know what? I tried it and it is not bad. Like maybe I had very low expectations, but I actually think it's pretty good. I'm enjoying it. It's from.
Are you even a baseball fan?
No. It's from Cooperstown Distillery, and it's called Double Day Bourbon. And I just thought it was such a neat bottle. And I'll tell you what.
Okay, so you're just a fan. You like bourbon, but you also like oddly shaped bottles.
That is correct.
Even if the odd shape of the bottle is in the shape of a thing that you're not particularly into.
Yeah, well, I used to be a big baseball fan, and then the Pirates. So, what are you going to do, right? Like in the early 90s, late 80s, early 90s, huge baseball fan. Right before I got into hockey.
So a fair weather
I
fan.
have thousands of baseball cards. Well, for a while I was really into it, and then I found hockey, and that was way more interesting and fun. And they won the Stanley Cup a couple times, and that was it for me. I kind of stuck with it, but I don't know. I want to like baseball. I like listening to baseball in the background. You know what I mean? Like if I'm doing something else, like a baseball game being on is kind of fun. I like going to a baseball game. That's pretty fun.
Oh yeah, that's fun, but that's just drinking beer outside. That's all that is.
Exactly. And some hot dogs, maybe some licorice. Used to love to get the licorice, when you'd bite off the ends and stick it in your Coke and then drink it through the straw of the licorice.
I've never been a licorice guy.
No? Oh man, the red licorice as a straw was always one of the best things about the ballpark for me.
There you go.
But they stopped selling that. Now they have Twizzlers, and there's not a big enough hole. And anyway, I don't want to get into it, but I'm angry at Twizzlers. That's all there's to it.
I hear you. I accept your rage.
So the wives last week, as you said, went from Sanborn maps to Weird Al Yankovic, which is our topic. And I think I mentioned last week I thought that we had been to Weird Al in the past. And I guess I was wrong, but I really thought that we had. I'm tempted to search maybe I'll just do a real quick search
Mhm.
of our spreadsheets here and see
A
if
document.
if it comes up anywhere. Weird. Nope, it's not there. It's not there except on this season 7, episode 100. 101 also. But I think one of the things that we need to do, and I doubt the ladies did this, is make a prediction as to how many steps it might take us to get from Sanborn Maps to Weird Al Yankovic. So I'm ready to do that. Are you ready to do that as well?
I'm totes ready. Try and stop me.
No, I'm just going to let you go. Just going to let you do it.
I insist that you try and stop me.
All right, I will come to you. Here, what's your address? I'll come straight to where you are.
I see what you're trying to do there. I see what's happening.
I'm trying to help you. That's all I'm trying to do is help you out.
Okay. All right. I got you.
You know what's interesting? I was watching a hockey game earlier this evening. Do they have a professional hockey team in the place where you?
I mean, we get all the networks, so all games are broadcast.
Right, but that wouldn't be true because the home team usually isn't broadcast on like the major networks if it's on the local network. So is there a home team, a professional? Do you have any professional sports teams in the metropolitan area that you live in, assuming you live in a metropolitan area?
I mean, I certainly don't play any of those sports, so I don't know.
It's not going to give me that much of an idea. Just give me a little. This is a little tiny hint.
I will say that there is a popular local game that involves athletes moving an object around until it lands in a goal of some sort.
You are not at all helpful.
I know. That's going to be on my tombstone.
Because the odds are that you're talking about what the rest of the world calls football and we call soccer. If we were talking odds, because as I recall correctly, we once saw a page that had sports and how popular they were around the world. And I believe that soccer is more popular than hockey.
This is true.
So I guess the odds are that you're in a town that has a soccer team, but you didn't even say professional. So it could just be kids out playing soccer.
I don't know. I don't know what the economic status of those players is, whether they are doing it for the love of the game or whether they're compensated for that activity.
For the love of the game, I'll tell you what. Well, I am properly satiated with my baseball bourbon over here, and you're not going to give me any information. I've written down my prediction. Should we begin journeying forth to see where we end up, and if we can get indeed to Weird Al Yankovic?
Let's do this. And again, just to refresh the listeners' memory, we're starting at Sanborn maps.
Yes.
Which are detailed maps of U.S. cities and towns in the 19th and 20th century. They were originally published by the Sanborn Map Company, and the maps were created to allow a fire insurance company to assess their local liability in urbanized areas of the United States.
That's right. And in fact, they were invented by a person named Daniel Alfred Sanborn in 1866. So I believe Aaron Kleiber, who was on 2 weeks ago, told us that it was around the time of the Civil War, briefly or shortly after the Civil War, and indeed seems to be the case, 1866. So there you go. They were published, the last Sanborn fire maps were published on microfilm in 1977. So did you know that? 111 years they stuck around, but now gone, apparently.
I did not know that. I will say, though, so I've scrolled through the article rather briskly, and I'm seeing the usual suspects. There's some geographic stuff.
Sure.
There's a lot of insurance-related stuff. We can get back to Warren Buffett, but we just came from there.
Yeah, it won't help us too much.
The last link in the main article, before the See Also section, is to the Library of Congress.
Okay.
And the Library of Congress is a repository for all the great knowledge of American stuffs. And I feel like that's a really potent possibility for us.
I see. Your argument being that Weird Al would have things in the Library of Congress?
It's possible that he might, but it's also possible that one of the musicians that he parodied would have something in the Library of Congress.
I see.
And also, it is a library, so it's a vast category of stuff.
So to be clear, you want to go through a musical artist to get to a musical artist. We've tried that before. And I trying to remember what was the result of that when we were trying to get to some sort of postmodern jukebox, and we tried going through somebody to get to somebody else. Boy, that really worked out well, right, Jethro?
Yeah. I see what you're doing there. Let me play your same game back at you. Oh, Matt, so you're trying to come up with an independent idea that's different from Jethro's? Oh, you think that's going to end well? Oh, let me think back to when we tried that.
Okay, all right. You've brought my petard around and tried to hang me on it, but I won't do it. I think.
Well, do you have a better idea, or do you just want to poo-poo my idea?
Well, I am looking, and I see that Monopoly is linked on here, and I'm trying to remember if there is a Weird Al song about Monopoly. Seems like the type of topic that he would pick to use for his jokey songs. But I can't think of one off the top of my head. It was the first thing that jumped into my head, but I don't think it's going to work out.
Where is Monopoly linked on here?
It's up under what category? History. It's in the fourth paragraph. The first line talks about how Sanborn purchased its last major competitor, the E. Hexamer and Sons of Philadelphia, and became a monopoly.
Okay.
So there you go. But I can't actually think of a song that involves Monopoly. Civil War is on here. Can't think of a song that had, because I'm trying to think of like topics that he sang about, right? That he has used to parody. And I understand, even if I thought of one, that may not be the best path because, is the food page going to have "Eat It" on there? No, probably not. So I don't know. Maybe you're right. Maybe the Library of Congress is the best path. It just seems I'm concerned. That's all I'm saying. I'm concerned.
Well, let me ask you this.
Go ahead.
So Monopoly versus Library of Congress, which do you think is casting a wider net?
Well, I think Monopoly is probably casting a wider net because Library of Congress is pretty specific and may not list, who is involved, like what
versus a singular economic model of a market with no competition.
Well, a monopoly is a general idea, right? So it's not a specific thing. There have been many monopolies, right? Versus Library of Congress, there's only been one. So, I guess what I'm trying to say is, in that way, I see it as a wider topic and possibly a larger page. But then again, you could be totally right. I could be looking at it from the total wrong perspective here, and your way might be the best way, and it has been before.
So how are we going to resolve this intractable dispute that we have?
Well, I don't think it's as intractable as you think. I don't actually think that Monopoly is going to be our best path in. I'm just I'm looking to make sure there's nothing else on here that feels like a better path. Lithographed, rivers, canals. No.
Proxy fight.
What?
Proxy fight.
What's that?
Proxy
about
fight
proxies,
is a contest over an organization where you buy a bunch of shares in a company and then try to use that to take it over from management that doesn't want you to take it over.
Oh, I see. But probably not the best one, huh?
No.
Buyback, stock repurchase, Census Bureau. No. All right. Okay. All right. I'm with you. It seems like the best way to get into some sort of media. I'll go to Library of Congress.
Yay. I knew I'd get you eventually.
Yeah, you got me.
So I will say Library of Congress is a pretty big page.
It is.
There's a lot going on
like
here.
A long one, yeah.
There's a lot of fun stuff. And I'm just for giggles, I'm starting here at the bottom because I think that's a fun way to go.
You're a giggly man.
And I will say that right at the bottom here, there is under annual events, there is a Gershwin Prize for popular song.
Oh, I see.
Which sounds very exciting.
So popular music seems like a good in, eh?
Indeed.
I'm working at the top, and I'm seeing people like Thomas Jefferson and John Adams and Sir George Cockburn.
Sir George Cockburn.
Yeah, Sir George Cockburn, the British naval officer whose family returned something to the United States. Guy, it says I'm reading at the bottom of the bottom of a paragraph. Collection of 3,000 volumes. Oh, it was it was retaliation for American destruction of Port Dover. The British ordered the destruction of numerous public buildings in the city. British troops burned the Library of Congress, including its collection of 3,000 volumes. One of the few congressional volumes to survive was a government account book of receipts and expenditures for 1810. It was returned to the U.S. government in 1940. So there you go.
So under the history section, from 1987 to the present, there is mention of the Gershwin Prize for Popular Song, which was launched in 2007 to honor the work of an artist whose career reflects the lifetime achievement in song composition. Winners have included Paul Simon, Stevie Wonder, Paul McCartney, Burt Bacharach, and Hal David, Carole King, Billy Joel, and Willie Nelson, all of whom are musicians.
They are all musicians. You're absolutely right.
I feel like that is a very strong place. I'm trying to think of a Weird Al parody of one of those musicians, and nothing is immediately springing to mind, although he had to have done one of them, right?
So there is definitely a parody of Piano Man, and it's about Spider-Man, I believe.
Is there?
Yeah, it's like a, I forget what the actual title is right now. It's one of his newer ones, but I am almost positive that exists. I will point out that there is also a link to copyright registration up here, and I believe there were some arguments as far as copyright is concerned with some of the songs that he parodied. Now, whether or not that would be on the copyright registration page.
No, but copyright might talk about parody as fair use. Like that's definitely a legitimate issue for that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Because my concern with, again, my concern going through something like Billy Joel is that we will wind up in the same type of problem that we had with postmodern jukebox, and we will. And for folks, if you're not familiar with that, join our Patreon. Go ahead and find out a little bit more about that episode. It took us a long time. We didn't even make it, did we? We had to stop before 20, I think.
Yeah. Wait a minute.
What do you see? What's up?
No, I do like Billy Joel as a possibility.
You do?
I do.
Oh.
First of all, he's a musician that's had a career that spanned decades. And so the idea that, he's been parodied by Weird Al.
Oh, he has. I mean, he definitely has. I like copyright. And in fact, copyright registration, I felt a little like not so good about, but copyright itself is on this page. So we could actually just go straight through copyright, which feels like could be a good one.
Where is copyright?
So I am seeing it under holdings in the third paragraph. The library serves as a legal repository for copyright protection and copyright registration, and as the base of the United States Copyright Office. So it is on there. I'm looking to make sure that there's nothing better than that. I do see CDs on here, but I think that might be too general.
Since parody is specifically called out in copyright law and is like a substantial part of fair use, I feel like copyright is likely to get us to parody.
Yeah, I think so too, and I think that's the way to go.
All right then.
Okay, so copyright, and that's copyright RIGHT for all of you who always mistake it and try to put WRITE on there. That's not what it is. It's not writing. It's not copywriting. It's copyright. Fair use, I see listed on here already. Public performance is on here. So there's got to be some stuff on here about parody. You're absolutely right. And I'm wondering if Weird Al could be on this page.
Ooh, was he sued? Is there like the...
wasn't it like
James Blunt v. Weird Al that went to the Supreme Court?
I don't remember. There was somebody who got real angry. I want to say it was Coolio when he did Amish Paradise. Definitely.
So Coolio died not too long ago.
True.
And one of the things that came out in one of the remembrances that came out after his passing was Coolio admitting that he was wrong to have gotten so mad about it. So
Yeah, yeah.
It's a feather in Coolio's cap that he eventually saw that he was on the wrong side of it and apologized to Weird Al and basically, reframe that and yada yada.
Yeah,
So,
that's right. I definitely remember it like turning back the other way, but it was something that and I don't know, maybe that wasn't a copyright thing. Maybe that was just I don't know if he ever actually sued or brought up, legal whatever, if he was just like, I'm angry at you, and that was the end of it. I am not seeing anything so far. There's a lot of stuff in here though that could take us. I mean, there's recordings, there's public performance, there's trademark is obviously in here, but I don't think that's going to be any more helpful than we are now. Fair use and fair dealing.
There's a religious service exemption in the U.S. Any performance of a non-dramatic literary or musical work, of a dramatico-musical work of a religious nature or display of work in the course of a service at a place of worship or other religious assembly shall not constitute infringement of copyright.
Oh. Well, and now we know.
There you go.
Recording industry or record industry is on here.
Is it?
So that might help. Yeah, because there's a whole transfer, assignment, and licensing thing.
Matt, what about if we just clicked on parody?
Oh, do you see parody somewhere?
So under fair use and fair dealing, there is a section as far as what constitutes fair use, and the last section of that is actually talking about EU copyright laws. And the last bullet point is when used in parody, and parody is linked.
I see. All right. Well, yes, that is probably going to be the way to go. Give me 1 second. I just want to make sure that there's nothing else that's even closer on here. I think that probably is going to be our best bet, though. Entertainment law. Yeah. Rent seeking. What? What samizdat? Do you know what samizdat is?
Where is it located?
It's under the C also. SAMIZDAT. Samizdat?
Samizdat was a form of dissident activity across the Eastern Bloc in which individuals reproduced censored and underground makeshift publications, often by hand, and pass the documents from reader to reader.
Oh, you know what? That reminds me of our book smuggling. Remember the book
smugglers
that we had?
The Lithuanian book smugglers.
Yes. It reminds me of that. I'm trying to bring in things because it's the 100th episode. We should be talking about things we've done in the past. So that's what I'm trying to do. All right. So you saw this under fair use and fair dealing.
That's right.
And you said parody. Oh, there it is. All right. So shall we go to parody?
To parody, we shall go.
All right. I believe we have been to parody before. If I recall correctly from last week, I did read off the thing.
Indeed.
And I think parody
it's how we got to Tom Lehrer.
Where we found Tom Lehrer. And if Tom Lehrer was on this page, Weird Al gotta be on this page, right?
Oh, Weird Al is definitely on this page somewhere.
If he is not, there's been some weird things happening in here. I see Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are dead. Silk stockings, Don Quixote. And I also see Weird Al Yankovic.
Where?
Under reputation, some artists carve out careers by making parodies. One of the best known examples is that of Weird Al Yankovic.
Yeah.
There he is with his accordion on, and he's got his long hair. Doesn't wear the glasses anymore. I miss the glasses. Remember the glasses from the 80s?
They were iconic.
They were iconic. In fact, I dressed as Weird Al one year for Halloween.
That does not surprise me at all.
I had the glasses. I had a wig. I had I put on a Hawaiian shirt and drew a mustache on myself. Because remember, I used to have the mustache. Mm-hmm. Oh man, I was ready to go. But so it didn't take me that long to become Weird Al. It took us not that long to get to Weird Al from Sanborn Maps either. It only took us, Jethro, 4 links.
Wow.
Now my question to you is, what did you predict?
My question to you is the exact same thing.
Well, I will tell you, sir. I predicted 4.
You predicted 4? Well, guess what I predicted? I predicted.
Can't see
the camera's not showing it, but I predicted 5.
5!
Here it is.
Yep, there it is. I see it now.
Okay, yeah.
Well. I have a rare win in my column here.
You have defeated me, sir.
I have overguessed the past few weeks, and I decided this week I was gonna give us a nice low number because we've been doing so well. And indeed, we did do well. But the question will now become, did we do well enough? Because our wives did the same walk last week. Now, those of you who listened to last week's episode, you already know who won this. We don't. So the plan here is to bring our wives back on and have a little talk with them, see what they did, find out what you already know, and see how it goes. So we're going to do a brief pause, and then it'll be us with the wives. All right, we are back, and hello, ladies.
Hello.
Hello.
How's it going?
Hello.
Thanks for coming back on this week so that we can discuss our journeys here. Now, as I just mentioned, our listeners already know who won this little race here, but we are going to find out now. So, I'll say first of all, this was pretty fun. Going the path that we went. Did you have fun, ladies?
We had so much fun.
Yeah.
It should be illegal.
Oh, well, it might be. If you get a call, you'll know why. So how do you want to do this? Who wants to reveal first how many steps it took?
I want you guys to reveal first.
You want us to reveal first? Okay.
Yeah.
No, you can't.
Show us yours and we'll show you ours.
Sure. Yeah, I like that.
You would.
Also, can I just say, Matt, does your wife ever talk to you in her podcast voice, the way she says hello? All right.
No.
Neither does mine. I mean, maybe that's why we keep inviting you guys back on.
Emma and I only talk to each other that way.
We do.
Oh,
Right.
It'd be weird if I was like,
Yeah.
hey, Matt, do the dishes.
Actually,
I
right
bet you
with
those dishes would get done super quick.
yes. We'll see here. Okay, well, we will tell you. We took a path from well, as a listener just knows, we went from Sanborn Maps to the Library of Congress.
Oh.
We journeyed on from there to copyright, which took us to parody, which took us to Weird Al Yankovic. So it took us four steps to get there. So tell us,
gosh.
how did things go for
we went a different route.
you? Okay.
Tell him, Emma.
We went to Monopoly,
See, I told you, Monopoly. That was one of the ones we
which
discussed.
took us to copyright.
Oh.
That took us to parody. That took us to Weird Al Yankovic. So we also did it in 4.
There it is.
Yeah.
Does
Wow.
that count as a win for me?
That's a
we
tie.
put
That
that
does.
That is
No,
a tie.
That's
I
a
think
tie.
it's a win.
Oh, okay.
That's all chin. That was the first song I thought of.
I appreciate your enthusiasm, Kristy. It wasn't a clean win, but we didn't lose, and that is all that
It's
matters.
not a loss. That is
Yeah,
definitely true.
not a
And
loss.
that's without a doubt your best one yet, I think, right? That's
Yeah, we didn't think
4.
about entertainment at all. We were just like, let's just get there.
Yeah.
Great. Good. Well, for all of you that listened last week, thank you. And thanks for tuning back in this week, even though last week's was, I guess, very cut and dry. I haven't heard
It
it.
was
So
very serious.
It was like,
don't know.
okay, how can we do this? How can we just boom, boom, boom?
let's just
1,
get
2,
there.
3.
Let's just
We're
do
all
it.
about the business. It was
Yeah.
it was business.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So there you go. So episode 100, episode 101 are kind of in the books here. They're both a little shorter, everybody. So apologies to you unless you like listening to us less, in which case you're welcome for having a couple of quicker episodes on the books there. But ladies, thank you again for joining us. I really appreciate it. I don't want to speak for Jethro. I don't know if he's
I believe Kristy and Emma know how I feel about the matter. I don't need to say it publicly.
perfect.
We know.
Perfect.
Thank you both
get
very
it.
much. It's fantastic.
No, it is great having you on. We really appreciate you being part of episodes 100 and 101 here. And thank you to you both for your support of us doing this ridiculous thing every week. We're the ones that disappear and go off to record. And so thanks for being okay with that, because I don't want to speak for Jethro, but I know that I really enjoy it. I love this is a passion project for me. So I'm not.
I
not
enjoy you
returning anything, so-
disappearing.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, there we go.
I enjoy the time that you spend away doing your
Okay.
podcast.
Okay.
You guys could do it twice a week. I mean, honestly. I mean, if
You
you
know-
love it that much. If
you know-
love it that much.
I think the goal should be to reach 300 episodes.
Do you?
ASAP.
This is-
Yeah.
So,
Get on
Okay.
it.
I mean,
Wow.
I'm not going to do it if you ask me in those voices.
you know, Matt, maybe you could actually take a trip to where Kristy and Jethro live
Yes.
for maybe a week or two.
That would be great. That would be great.
Well, I don't know if it takes longer than that to get here.
Oh, that's information. That's going to help. It takes longer than a week or two.
I mean, it depends on your method of travel.
Yeah.
We should say that.
Oh, I see. So
That's critical.
That's the
Right.
critical piece of it.
Interesting.
So if
Matt,
I was walking or
Maybe
this is not-
walking or maybe if we were on like a scooter.
Ooh,
You guys are going to need to buy some more red yarn.
yeah, definitely. This is my whole wall is filled. at
It's
this point.
crazy.
This is
Matt,
terrible.
Matt, you should add on the Kristy said they just had phones installed.
Oh,
Just recently. So
Well, I have
they're
seen
And then
the movie.
immediately taken out.
I have seen the movies. Oh wait, they've been
That's
taken
what-
out. Oh, well, that's not going to help me then.
that's why you haven't been
It's gonna-
responding to my text messages.
Yeah.
They were installed in the morning, removed in
Yeah.
the afternoon.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Bad choice. Yeah.
Did not like them. Okay. Well, there you go. And which company did you use to?
Just the phone company.
The phone company.
So close. So close. Well, thank you all so much for this. And thank you all for listening. And we'll be back next week. Just me and Jethro, though. The ladies won't be here. We'll have to wait till next season to hear from you all again, right?
We
Yeah, I
have
guess
plans
so.
together though. So it's fine.
Yeah, we're gonna yeah. We'll
okay.
we'll do it. We'll do it.
We're gonna have a whole evening of just talking like this.
Yes.
I'll
Thank
see
you
you
for
next
having
week.
us on.
See you next week, Emma.
See you next week, Kristy.
Hey, everybody. Matt Hartman here again for Drunkard's Walk. Thanks so much for listening again this week. And thank you to Jesse L. Lee for our theme music and Nick Harmio for our artwork. Hopefully you enjoyed this little 2-part episode here. We got some more coming up next week. And, we got several more here still in season 7. So hopefully you're enjoying listening as much as we are enjoying making. And if you are enjoying listening, hey, why not give us a rating or a review, or head on over to Patreon and give us a couple of bucks to keep this thing going. We'd really appreciate that. We, of course, appreciate you just listening, doing those downloads, and hey, if you need to find any of that stuff, it's at our link tree, linktr.ee/drunkardswalk. Thanks so much, everybody. Have a great week, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.